Hello and welcome to a very special edition of Record Sports Hotline Live with me, Daniel Caw. I'm delighted to be joined by Record Sports Gavin Berry. Gav, how's the nerves?
Oh, just beating up.
Excellent.
Butterflies in the stomach.
That's it. But I'm particularly thrilled to be joined all the way from the Allianz Arena in Munich by Record Sports' very own version of Jack and Victor, Keith Jackson and Scott McDermott. Guys, how's the atmosphere?
Jacko and Victor.
What one am I?
You guys can choose, don't worry.
Listen, got to be honest, right? We might as well confess before we start. There are difficulties here trying to hear you guys. We're doing the best job that we can. It's why this is the least inspiring backdrop we've managed to produce yet throughout the Euros.
But it will get better.
It will get better. We've got something special planned for you. The only thing that, given that we're having trouble hearing you, I can't believe we'll get whispering Gavin Berry in the studio here. Gav, you'll need to give me sign language or something.
You need to get your megaphone out, Gav.
Sorry, what was that, Keith? Oh, you teed me right up for that one.
Right, listen, here's what we're going to do. Scott's going to grab the camera and we're going to show you where we're sitting. And I mean, what's it like? I don't want to build it up. Let's just show.
Walk out and then walk back in.
Yeah.
Give us a taste of what you'll be seeing.
Taking over as cameraman here.
How do they get all these gigs, Gav? Who do they talk to? Who have they get dirt on?
Just totally rubbing this in here.
I know.
Wow, how good is that?
That looks incredible. Wow.
It's not bad, eh?
It's no bad, certainly not.
And by the way, the fans have been coming in here from Scott and I arrived here more than 4 hours before kick-off, and the fans were starting to come at that time. I think even at that time, the police were issuing a warning that they were going to have to shut the main square in Munich because it was full of capacity already, and the out by the Olympic Stadium, 5 metres old ground obviously, there's a fan park that holds 25,000. 4 hours before kick-off, the police had to shut that one down as well.
Oh, wow.
It's unbelievable. We went for a walk and a coffee in the city centre this morning, and I'm talking 9 o'clock in the morning, tartan army everywhere. I have no idea how it's possible to start drinking pints at 9 o'clock in the morning and still be able to be at this match at 9 o'clock at night.
I've got an idea.
I was going to say, if anyone can do it, we can, guys. Don't worry.
Right, listen, we're going to nip this back inside so we can hear you guys.
It does look incredible. I would give a lot to be there, I have to say.
Just wait till it's full, Daniel. That's 2 hours to go. Wait till that is. Wait till every seat is full.
There they are.
Right.
Right, well, guys, obviously we'll touch back on the atmosphere if you want, but let's start. I want to start with this one question, right, just to get us all in the mood. Marie Banks, where would a victory tonight rank in the list of great Scotland wins? It would surely outstrip McFadden against France in Paris, no?
Oh, it would be the best of my lifetime. I think it would outstrip Faddy's goal in France. No bother. I mean, that was a qualifying game, obviously. Do you know what I mean? This is the real deal. The Euros in Germany, opening game, 80,000 people in here, or 75,000 people. If Scotland could win the night, I mean, is that going to be beaten?
The only thing you can compare, and this is why this would be better, is when we beat Holland in the World Cup in '78. But it still wasn't enough to get us through it. It was a victory. It was a hollow, Pyrrhic victory because, you know, we still went home. If we could start this campaign against the host nation, fancied to win the whole thing, and come away from Munich with 3 points, yeah, I'm going to say that tops everything. You're right. McFadden's night was a special night, but it was a qualifier. Yeah. Here we are, opening a Euros. Win this one, man. Oh, there's nothing comes close to that.
And the other great one we talk about is beating England at Wembley and to become the unofficial world champions. I mean, that was a friendly, wasn't it? I know we talked about because it was England, because they were world champions, but this would top the lot.
Oh, easy.
There you go. The greatest Scottish result ever. Then we could be watching tonight, guys. Fingers crossed.
But, let's not get ahead of ourselves, guys. Right? You know,
We've not done it yet.
I know. Look, I was speaking to Record Sports columnist Chris Sutton down the stairs, and he's obviously reads the paper as well as produces his own input. He said our predictions were all over the shop. He was trying to slaughter us down there. I said, listen, you can keep all that stuff for 5 Live, 606. We're not buying it. No, I can't believe you guys. I said, listen, Chris, see if you look back at the history of opening nights and these tournaments, it's either a shock or it's a kind of damp squib. Now, I've not predicted, I went 0-0, I haven't predicted a shock. I've predicted a damp squib. If I wanted to predict a shock, I'd say it's a Scotland win.
I love Big Chris, but a typical English attitude, Daniel. Talk us down, talking up Hungary, talking up Switzerland, everybody up.
Well, look, guys, you've actually set us up. You set us up perfectly for a question from. Oh, sorry, guys. You've set us up perfectly for our next question from James McClear. He says, I see one of your sports writers committed treason by saying Germany will beat Scotland tonight. The guy should be shown the door. I've got a feeling that guy's not a million miles away.
I know who it was.
Who was it?
He's on this call.
Sorry, Daniel. Sorry, Keith. Sorry, Scott. I know. I think I was only one of the. I was one of only 8. I know I was one of only 8. I couldn't believe it. But in Keith, when you're talking about shocks on opening night, sorry, before we go back to that, and I hold my hands up, it was me, but the stat I read today, which I couldn't quite believe, was that Germany have lost the last 3 of their opening games at major tournaments, which I found incredible. I thought, I need to check that out just to check it's definitely correct. And sure enough, lost at Qatar. I wrote them down here, Lost to Japan at the last World Cup in Qatar, France at Euro 2020, and Mexico at the World Cup in Russia in 2018. So there you go, slow starters. 3 in a row.
That's fine. I'm hoping that they are, because we've mentioned this a few times in the build-up to this match, which does seem to have taken forever for us to get here. But I have to tell you, the excitement level's starting to build now. But that's exactly it. Often the teams that go the distance in these tournaments, they do start slowly, and that is just another little thing to try and, or maybe give us a little bit of encouragement. Listen, this is David Goliath. There's no doubt about it. Nobody really believes that we're going to come here and open up with a win over Germany. Not even I believe it. But I do think we can get something. I do think we can put on a performance, and with a little bit of luck on our side, just for once. Maybe it's not too much to imagine us leaving here with a draw and a point, and what a flyer that would be.
Yeah, why can we not be the shock troops in this tournament? I mean, there always seems to be 1 or 2 at every tournament. It's just never seemed to be us. I think there's a real feeling that just because of the quality we've got in the squad, we've talked about it the whole week. I've got a genuine feeling that this might be our tournament.
Well, I'll tell you something. I hope so, because see, in 2016 when I was following, when I was reporting from, I wasn't so much following Wales. I just had the misfortune to have to keep bumping into them along their journey. Northern Ireland, Iceland, and you're sitting there. I mean, I think you're sitting going, when are we going to catch a break? When's it going to be our turn? And do you know something? This brief sort of relationship that Wales had, I'm glad it's finished, right? Get them out, right? What we need here is some proper old school. So we need Scotland to start reconnecting. We are overdue, my God, we are overdue. So, I just feel, I looked at, and by the way, see the other thing, Scott, see when you think about it, remember Euro 2016, and Iceland did well, freakishly well, and then at the end of it, we were having seminars back home. We need to go to Iceland. Everybody get a plane to Reykjavik. We need to, what they're doing, we're not doing. And there was this massive kind of navel gazing, and what Iceland are in the way up. Where are Iceland now? Where are Wales now? Do you know what? We've progressed. We're ready for this. Our players are ready for this. We've got top talent, and I cannot wait to go back out there and watch them, because I believe that they've got a big performance on them tonight.
Steve Clark should be getting him in the dressing room.
I was just about to say that, but Daniel, you're right. I hold my hands up. I picked Germany. I was the only one that picked Germany to win. Now, listen, Scotland are 12-1, so it's hardly the greatest bit of tipping. What my fear, Keith, Scott, is just what about the form that Scotland are in? If you look back 2 wins out of the last 10, I think, which come against Cyprus and Gibraltar. It's not
Forget
great
the form,
is it?
Forget the form.
This is not the same Scotland side. Right now, I know that you can flip that coin and say, well, how can you just say that Germany have got a track? Because I'm glad to go with that one. I'm glad to dismiss what's happened previously with Scotland and just say new side, new team, new era, and a new start. And this is where it all. I tell you what, it might be miles out, and by the end of the night, I might be lugging this camera back up the road, feeling sorry for myself, and we'll all be kind of thinking that the 2 mile walk back to the train station feels more like a 10-mile slog.
Oh, I think we're losing the guys a wee bit signal-wise, Gav.
We're about to have quite a night, boys.
That's a good way. That was a good way to end it there, guys. I think your signal's getting really poor. Obviously, understandable with everything going on over there. Look, if they're still with us, if they can still hear me, good luck tonight. Have a great time, and fingers crossed we'll be celebrating a victory at the end. I think you've both come back there. Good luck, guys. So there you go, Gav. We've lost contact with the guys at the Allianz Arena.
No, Scott's right. The way Keith was talking there, it was a real kind of rousing speech. He certainly was starting to make me feel that I was the one in the wrong with that prediction. That Germany were 12-1 shots rather than Scotland. But look, whenever you're asked for these predictions, I understand it's different when you're dealing with your country because we have to be patriotic. But I always think in my head when I'm asked for a scoreline for the paper, I always imagine somebody saying, there's £1 million, nipped down to the local bookies. What would you put on? So I went for 3-1 because that's what I believe. But you try and convince, you then, this morning when I was looking at it, I was trying to think, right, let's look for positives. Let's not be the negative Norman that Steve Clark dismisses. So I'm one of these guys that he's just going to completely dismiss. So,
well, I don't know how you can sleep, Gav. To be honest, I don't know how you can.
But I mean that stat did shock me a bit. I mean, 3 opening games, you just think Germany to lose 3 in a row at major tournaments.
That's mad.
I know France. Okay, of France, every day you could lose to them. But Mexico, Japan, and that's where Keith and Scott are right. Why can't it be us this time? Mexico and Japan, they're hardly powerhouses of football, are they?
Absolutely.
And Germany also, another stat, have only kept 12 clean sheets out of the last 14. So that tells you, there is a chance they will score. I think a lot of people thought, well, where are the goals going to come from? That's the worry, for Scotland. Are they going to score? But, German teams, you look through the history, they were always sort of solid and that, stereotypical German efficiency and, didn't concede much. And then they had flair players that would go and score the goals and great strikers like Gerd Müller over the years and Klose in more recent times and Klinsmann. But clearly they're not as solid defensively. I think even, they beat Greece 2-1, didn't in their final warm-up game, they had to leave it late. I think even in that 0-0 draw before that with Ukraine, they gave up chances. So
it's not a classic Germany team, is it?
Oh, it's definitely not. It's definitely not. And the other thing that you have to factor in, I mean, obviously as hosts, they haven't played competitive games for a long time. It's been friendlies in the build-up. So
plenty to hope for, definitely.
Yeah, and there's going to be, there is going to be pressure on them, In fact, they've not played a competitive game since they were knocked out of the World Cup. In Qatar. I mean, they went out to the group stage. I think they won their final game 4-2 against Costa Rica. But that wasn't enough to stop them going out. So that's almost 2 years of friendlies, Daniel. And as you know, there's no substitute for competitive games. And that is my slight fear, with Scotland. The last time we played a game that had anything riding on it was that night in Spain. When we played so well, went down, obviously, that goal, McDermott's goal controversially, chopped off. We then lose that game, but we played so well that night. But that was the last time we really had a game with something riding on it. And ever since then, if you look at it, it has been a downward spiral. You can understand that. we've almost paid the price for the storming way we went through the qualifying campaign. Nobody could have dreamed that we'd have secured qualification so quickly. You know, and then you do that, and I think you then become victims of your own success, because after that, you're not playing games, and it's just natural that there's going to be a drop-off. And my worry is just, if you look at that run, it's about getting it back. We've played well in the friendly against Holland, but of course you end up losing it, and it's not like a switch. You just can't flick it back on. But you just hope with everything riding on that. I mean, the players are going to be looking out and seeing the Tartan Army all over Munich. You know.
Well, just on that, Gav, we lost touch with the guys in the Allianz Arena, but I'm going to try and re-establish contact with Germany right now with Record Sports' Ryan Carroll, who I believe is in the fan zone in Munich. Ryan, can you hear me?
How you doing, folks? How you doing, folks? It's pretty much chaos here, so I hope you can hear me.
We can hear you loud and clear. How's the atmosphere?
Nice one. Yeah, the atmosphere is absolutely incredible. This is where probably tens of thousands of ticketless Scots have gathered, which is incredible. So they've been here since some of them since 11 o'clock this morning to make sure that they got a spot, and it's been pretty crazy since then. It's like, I don't know what you can see, but it's been no Scotland, no party, all the songs and everything. They've had live bands on singing Caledonia. It's been brilliant. No, it's been really good. The only disappointment, I think, for folks has been the wait for a beer, which might not be a bad thing in the long haul, but folk have been waiting over an hour for a beer, so it's a bit of disappointment. I tried to find a quiet corner. I was over here, and then the pipers started piping. It's just chaos.
I don't think there will be a quiet corner in Munich tonight, to be honest. I don't think there will be a quiet corner.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I've also been trying to file my stories with a laptop on this grassy hill here, just on my lap, literally. So, yeah, it's just been mad. But, yeah, it's been a great day. The atmosphere is amazing. There's loads and loads of Scotland fans, loads of German fans as well. It looked as if it was all Scotland, and it seems like it's kind of evened out a wee bit. So, but it's all, great scenes.
And how is the weather, Ryan?
The weather's great. It's just got a bit overcast there, but it's been sunny all day long.
Right.
It's been sunny.
No, that's fine.
And here's the big question, Ryan.
Sorry, I've got a guy in a kilt there, bam me up. Say that again, sorry.
Here's the big question for you. Have you managed to secure a ticket for tonight's game?
No, I've not. So I'm unfortunately for me, I'm just going to be reporting from here. So I'm just going to be speaking to the fans after the game, getting a bit of reaction, hopefully reacting to the win. But either way, just getting a bit of a feeling on how everyone's been feeling, how the day's been in the fan zone. And the sports reporters are going to be at the ground doing the sports side of things. But this is a great place to be. There's a huge screen. There's been entertainment on all day. It's been really great.
We heard, Ryan, that the price of a pint might be as much as €13. Can you confirm or deny?
Well, I think that was a Stein, to be fair. I think that was a doubler. So I think it was maybe about $6.50 for a pint. But I don't think they're not going to be able to get that many down them, to be fair. There's folk have been waiting so long, over an hour, as I say. So they're going to save a lot of money, I think, and probably continue the party in the city centre after the match. I've been talking to some guys that are saying, look, no matter what the result, we're gonna party in the town anyway. So typical.
Can you maybe give us a little taste by going over to the fan zone that you did last night? A little flavour of
the
I'll
give you a taste. I'll just do that just now. So I'll probably lose you. So I'll just keep filming and then you can kick me out, right? But here we go.
No bother. Thank you very much. What would you give to be there, Gav? How jealous are you right now?
Oh, anything. I know. I'm just waiting for my beans and toast coming here. Beans and toast and a glass of water. And look at this.
I
tell you, I'm going to have to have a word, Gav, at Record HQ. How Ryan got this job and how we weren't in the running for it.
Just going to head right into it so you can get a right good flavour of it.
It looks amazing, Ryan. Wow.
It's pretty pretty much been like since 11 o'clock.
it looks amazing. Absolutely brilliant. Well, listen,
as I say, organised chaos.
I don't know if you can still hear me, Ryan, but if you can, enjoy the game, enjoy everything tonight, and I hope you're celebrating a victory by the end of it all.
I'll leave it at that, guys, because I can't actually get back up the stairs, so...
Cheers, Ryan.
But, fingers crossed we can do it tonight. The scenes here will be incredible if we do.
Absolutely. Fingers crossed. Cheers, Ryan. And through the miracle, Gav, of the internet, we can hopefully now go live to Angus Hyde, who is in the Glasgow fan zone. Angus, how's the atmosphere where you are? We can't hear you, Angus. If you can hear us, it's not the greatest. It's not the greatest reception. Can you hear him, Gav? No, I can't hear him.
I know.
We can see Angus though. It looks great. It looks like there's a lot of fans there. It looks like it's a great atmosphere. That's all you really need to do. Hold up your pint and show us what the party's like.
Well, I can hear Travis. I can hear Travis.
It looks absolutely brilliant, doesn't it? It looks packed.
Where exactly is that, Daniel?
I'm not actually sure where it is in Glasgow, but it is in Glasgow. I think it's over at Merchant City actually. Can he hear you, Angus? I'm sorry. Right, I tell you what, we're not having much luck with the
The one thing we can detect, Daniel, is the confidence in Scotland getting a result tonight. And as we spoke earlier, it is going to be a tough task, but I was just listening to David Moyes on the radio earlier there, and I think he makes a good point. It's a pretty obvious point, but if Scotland do lose, which of course there's every chance, they're 12-1 shots, they need to defy the odds. If they don't win, I think the important thing is that the performance, they've got to put in a performance it gives, because as we know, with the new format here, the expanded Euros over these recent few tournaments, third place can get you through. I mean, you could get through, certainly 4 points. I know Steve Clark's talked about targeting 4 points, but I mean, you could even get through with 3. I think when Keith Jackson was referencing the Euro 2016 when he was following Wales and he mentioned Northern Ireland, I think Northern Ireland get through with 3. Is that right? I think they maybe only...
I know, you're right. They did one win.
So one win could get you through. So what they don't...
Sorry, that was Angus trying to come back in. I think we're not having much luck with the connections tonight.
What they don't want to be doing is going back to their base camp tomorrow when Keith and Scott are back to them just outside Munich with confidence totally bruised, and then you're going into the Switzerland game on Wednesday, feeling a real sore one. So if they're going to lose tonight, and it's you want it to be by the odd goal, but putting on a good performance that at least gives them hope getting into the next game. Because the Switzerland game, on paper, because I mean, Hungary are the form team. I mean, in terms of qualifying, actually, Hungary's, I think they were unbeaten, weren't they, in qualifying? So everybody's expecting big things from Hungary. So that's going to be the kind of really tough one. Switzerland on Wednesday, they want to make sure they're getting into that with real belief that they can win, even if they don't get a point. Of course, listen, if they get a draw or a win tonight and it's happy days, they're getting into that game. The problem will be overconfidence if that's the case.
Exactly, I know. Let's try and add Angus one more time. Angus, can you hear us now?
It's a nightmare.
Angus,
Here we go, guys.
can you hear us now?
Yeah,
We can hear you now. If you can hear us.
here we go. Wait a minute. Right, folks, so I can't really hear you guys at all. It's either one or the other. So as you can see, we're here at the fan zone. It's absolutely rocking here. Maybe not quite as nice outside as it will be in Munich, but folk are flocking in. Why does it always rain on me? All those kind of stuff was here throughout the campaign as went. It's absolutely buzzing here. The atmosphere is really, really warm. Sitting here, we're playing a bit of Paulo, as you might hear. I know, fantastic atmosphere here in Glasgow.
And Angus, how's the atmosphere? Is it all been generally friendly? Is everyone in a positive mood?
Sorry guys, I'm not hearing you at all here.
Look, Angus, it looks amazing. I think you're struggling to hear us, but it looks amazing. But look, all the best for tonight. Hopefully, we're celebrating a victory. Cheers, Angus. Right, I tell you what, Ryan Carroll has actually been out and about in Munich today earlier on, talking to some fans. Let's see how he got on there.
So how does it feel to be at the fan zone? Are you having a good time?
Yeah, it feels really good and really exciting for the game, and I hope Scotland win.
Are you feeling confident, Jane, we're going to get a result today?
Yeah.
Yes.
We've been lucky enough to travel the world with Scotland, and this is by far the best I've ever seen. They told us it was going to be 20,000 Germans in here. I can't see where they're going to fit, because it's absolutely jam-packed with Scotland Tartan Army fans. Well excited to get in this morning. Bit of a queue to be on a spot. Aye, but when we got in it was good. It's a bit of a nightmare getting a beer than that, but they're sound when you've got them, like.
How will it feel if we get that result here? You've just won, we've just beat the Germans.
Absolutely amazing, yeah.
How would that feel walking out? We've just done it. Got McGinn.
Spectacular. Spectacular.
What do you think the score's going to be tonight?
1-0 Scotland.
1-0 Scotland, aye. How will it feel if we've won? How will it feel walking out of this place and we've just beaten the Germans?
I'll be bounced, like 100%. I think the place will go nuts. Like. I would happily win 0-0 tonight.
Yeah.
That would be a brilliant win for us.
My prediction 2-1.
2-1 Scotland.
How many people go and win tonight? I generally do that. It's not a romantic notion to me, but I generally think they've got enough to win. I'd go 0-0 to 90 minutes. John McGinn, last kick of the ball.
It just shows you, Gav, everyone. It just reminds me that, like, Euro 2020, it was great to qualify, end that hoodoo, but this feels like the real Euros. That was like diet Euros. You know, you can see what it means to all the guys to be out there at another tournament, actually in a different country, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, France '98 is the last time. You can just see that's why, you know, so many fans have made that trip, because it's so long since they had the opportunity. So, and again, you know, just listening to those fans, the one thing that comes right through is the confidence, or is it that high alcohol German beer?
Bit of both, probably. Let's answer another question or two then, Gav, whilst we've got them. We've got one here from Luke Quinn, who's saying, Lewis Morgan will be Scotland's super sub in Munich. His pace will cause problems for the Germany backline, and they won't be expecting him. I think that's a decent shout. I think he looked really good when he came off the bench against Finland. Germany won't know much about him, you'd have thought. It's your last minute addition.
No, I mean, that is an interesting one. And how many times, you know, does it happen that maybe somebody just, you know, gets a late shout and then they play a starring role? I think, you know, it was such a blow for Steve Clarke to lose, you know, Ben Doak, because if he called the Liverpool boy up, you know, I think he said that, it gives him something different. You know, he's got that pace, and that's what you need. So I think he could have a real vital role. And I think all the substitutes, because the thing about tonight is, as we know, we're going to have to, the Scotland players are going to have to work so hard, because, you know, Germany are going to have a lot of the ball. So I think the subs could have a big part. I think particularly up front as well, I fancy Shea Adams to start ahead of Lawrence Shankland. I could be wrong. I think I would go with Shea Adams. I think maybe if it was Hungary or the Switzerland game, Shankland possibly, but I think for tonight, Shea Adams for me. But it could be that he runs himself in at the ground for, you know, 60, 65 minutes, and then you're calling for Shankland to come off the bench. Yeah. So, you know, he could have a big part to play, and could be the same. Lewis Morgan, somebody like him, you know, bringing him off to run at the defence.
Right, what about this one then, Gav? We've got Scott McAdam, who's written in saying, if Scotland can bag 3 points, it may be enough to qualify, but how good would it be to see the overhyped, arrogant English fall flat in their face, and then we can all enjoy the Euros? I mean, look, I really wish I could be mature and say, no, come on, Scott, but it would be amazing. It would be amazing to see England struggle against Serbia at the weekend.
Anyone but England, is that what you're saying?
I probably am in that camp, to be honest. It's really immature, but...
No, listen, it would be great, but I think if we're being realistic, England along with France, I think even England ahead of even the host, I think England and France, well, they're the top two in the betting for a reason. I think England's squad is as good as any. The only issue I suppose England have that France have over them is that ability. They've won major tournaments. The players know how to do it. England don't have that, but you just feel with the quality they've got in the squad that it could be their year.
Well, look, Steve Clarke and Andy Robertson have been talking, obviously, ahead of the game. We're closing in and kick-off. So let's hear what they had to say.
Listen, we know it's a big game, but for us it's the opening game of a 4-team section, 3 matches. We know what we have to do to qualify out the section, and that's all we're focused on. The enormity of the opening game and whatever, that's a little bit of a sideshow, and hopefully we don't get too involved in that. One of the mantras that I've always had is respect everyone and fear no one. So we come here with a lot of respect for the host nation. We know they're a good team. But hopefully on the night we can show that we're a good team as well.
I feel the same as all the rest of them. I feel immensely proud, very excited as well. But this group of lads it's amazing to be captain of. They make my life very easy. It's an amazing bunch of lads. Even the new boys that step in, they embrace it so early doors, and it just keeps the feel-good factor going. So, look, we've had a really good camp so far. Obviously lost Dykesy, which was difficult for a couple of days, but then we managed to get over that and move past it. And now we're excited. We know that these games are close, and we know how quickly the tournament can go by you. And it's important that we show up to our maximum. And if we do that, then we believe we can create a bit of history. But we know we have to be at our best to do that.
See, that's the thing, Gav. We talk about being, scared of Germany. They've got some world-class players. But I don't think it's a stretch to say Andy Robertson, one of the best left-backs in the world. Tierney, who's fit and firing, is up there as well. McGinn, McTominay.
We know we've got quality players. That's why you can't achieve what Steve Clarke has, unless you've got quality players in your ranks. And it's interesting, Andy Robertson saying there just how easy it is to captain this group. They are just such a... I think that's what's shown through in the last sort of 2 or 3 years. They just seem like such a likeable, close-knit group, and they deserve every bit of success they've had so far. But I do think that the way the last Euros went, it was disappointing, but because it had taken so long to qualify, I think you could almost allow them that. And all the players after the defeats to Czech Republic and Croatia, obviously we got that draw against England at Wembley, which was a real positive. But it was all about the learning and the experience for this group of players. They hadn't been there, the nation hadn't been there for so long. But it was what can we take from this? So I think there actually is a bit of pressure on the squad. They've got to improve on that. Tonight, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, it's Germany, it's a free hit." I don't know. I don't think you get such a thing as a free hit. Yes, they can lose the game. As I said earlier, I think they have to produce a performance that shows something and that they're able to live on this stage. And then certainly in the last 2 games, I think they've really got to, certainly a victory, certainly 1 out of 2 victories. I think, if we end this group campaign with, 1 point or God forbid 0 points, I just think it would be so disappointing given how far, they've come as a squad and as a nation.
Well, we've got. I should say, we've had some brilliant comments sent in on Facebook, X, and YouTube. And I should say, if you're watching, please get in touch with a comment or a question. Keydale here saying he thinks it'll be 2-1 to Scotland. Matt Day here saying I think Scotland will give Germany a good match. What do you think, Gav, in terms of who needs to be the star man tonight? We've had one question sent in here saying
Angus Gunn for a start.
There you go. Joe here saying Angus Gunn needs to have a stormer tonight. If he puts in an 9 out of 10 display, we'll get at least a point in Munich.
Yeah, look, I can't. Yeah, well, look, Angus Gunn. I mean, he's the obvious one. I can't lie and say that the defence worries me ever so slightly. Steve Clarke's obviously lost a couple of right backs, so by definition, it makes it a big night for whoever plays there, I expect it to be Anthony Ralston. I think that's who Steve Clarke will go with. I think he should. Look, he's done well for Celtic and Scotland.
Yep.
You know, no criticism of him, but he's effectively third choice, and could be up against. He could be up against Jamal Musiala, Musiala. Sorry, I never get that pronunciation wrong, but it's going to be a huge test. Look, it's going to be a big night for the defence. Who does he play central defence as well? That's another thing. Is it Hanley, Porteous, Jack Hendry? So big test for the entire back line.
About this one, Gav. John Snoss has written in saying, who will be the man that we're all talking about tomorrow morning? And I think that preempts my kind of final question, which I think is for both of us, really. Predictions for tonight. I know we've already kind of scolded you for your unbelievable predictions in today's record sport, and this is your opportunity to make up for yourself, Gav.
Well, I went for 3-1 in the online and in the paper. I went for 3-1. I listened to Keith Jackson and Scott McDermott. I've trotted out all those stats to try and change my mind. So let's flip it. Just go with the fans, and I'll go for one each.
Look, I think it's going to be 1-0 with John McGinn header for what it's worth. I really do. I think we've got a great chance tonight. I think the pressure's all in Germany, and I think we could be sitting here tomorrow, Gav, having watched an historic night for Scotland.
Yeah, so who's the man we'll be talking about? I'll go with you and say John McGinn.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Well, look, I should say for everyone watching, thank you very much and thanks for getting involved. If you want to send us a question, you can do so at hotline@dailyrecord.co.uk and have your say on all things Scotland and, of course, on X, YouTube and Facebook. Gav, as ever, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Daniel, and enjoy the game, and everybody watching, enjoy the game and fingers crossed.
Thanks for watching, and come on, Scotland!